For over a decade now, the Safaricom Foundation has been supporting initiatives aimed at providing sustainable solutions to some of Kenya's most pressing social problems. Since then, the organization has grown into one of the largest supporters of social, economic development initiatives in the country.
When you are able to assist somebody to see, I think that is the best gift you can ever give to that person, because then you enable them to break from the cycle of poverty and they begin to be self-reliant and they're able to do a lot of things for themselves.
The Safaricom Foundation is the arm of the Safaricom company that does a charitable work. Safaricom Foundation has been in existence since 2003. And so over the last 10 years, we've been able to work with communities across the country. And what we've been able to achieve over these 10 years is to participate in the projects that they themselves select. We do not select projects for them, but communities come to us with projects that they want to implement. And we evaluate as a board of trustees, and we implement those that are consistent with our own pillars.
Maisha ya kina mama ilikuwa mabaya zaidi, sababu hapo kitambo wa mama hawana kitu ya kukula, hawana pesa ya kutegemea, hiyo kidogo tu ya kuni na kingine haikuwa imetosha.
Communities which live around the NRT areas are actually in constant interaction with wildlife. So to this end, you will find that it often leads to conflict, and this is because of pressure on land.
NRT ni Northern Rangeland Trust, na inafanya kazi ya biashara ndogo ndogo na kina mama. Wanauza shanga, wanapeana orders za shanga. Wamama wanashona shanga wakiuza kwa NRT. NRT wanatafuta soko.
Funds from the Safaricom Foundation have enabled this project pick up and run to the level where it is right now. It's been able to change lives. It's gone beyond money. It's people, it's lives, it's security, it's wildlife. It's an all-rounded system as it is right now.
Hapa Chiga kuna umaskini zaidi ya kipimo. Juu barabara ni ngumu kupata. Na wakati unapotaka kwenda mahali unakuwa na shida zaidi kabla ufikie pengine hospitali, vitu kama hizo. Bike 4 ilipokuja ilinisaidia kwa kuniwezesha kunifikisha hospitali, na hawa madaktari ambao wanatutembelea walikuwa wakitutembelea kwa njia inayofaa na wakati ambayo inatakikana.
Bike for Care is a project that equips community health workers with bicycles so that we can increase the number of household coverage. The bicycle ambulance is a trailer that is fitted on the back of the bicycles issued to community health workers. This enables the community health worker, when they go out in the field and they find a serious case or an emergency, they can be able to transport the sick back to the health center. Safaricom Foundation has helped in saving life. They have provided an efficient way of making sure that the women would get to the hospital faster and in a very comfortable way.
Over the last 10 years, we have covered virtually every part of Kenya, from Mandera in the northeast over to Kisumu, Lake Victoria in the west, right down to Tanzania border in the south. And we've never concentrated in any particular thematic area. Basically, we try to look at everything. We don't want to say we're only going to do education, because that leaves out health, it leaves out the environment, it leaves out so many areas.
Initially, in this community, there have been a lot of degradation. We mobilized the community to see the importance of conserving the mangrove forest. When we started this project, we did the boardwalk as an initiative to fundraise, and it reached a point where now this facility had broken down.
We could not have the boardwalk being used by our visitors because we had a lot of breakages. But when we knocked the door for Safaricom Foundation, we found the door was very open and they really assisted.
The funding from raised from the boardwalk helped me to go through my secondary education. My future objectives are to bring back more sustainability in my community.
We are a development player and quite an influential development player in the Kenyan space. And our agenda is quite clear to development partners with whom we have worked. I think they see our sense of devotion and commitment has not wavered at all in the last 10 years.
A study has been done by the Ministry of Education, and it came out that to educate a blind child, then it requires 17,000 shillings per year. The government currently is giving 2,000 shillings, and therefore there is a big gap of 15,000 shillings.
I felt like that I can learn, but the books are very few, are not enough for us. You can imagine one of the Braille book, we can't share more than 4 people's touching. You know, we are using our fingers to touch. But the audiobooks, it can read for the whole class.
On the other hand, maps...
We partnered with Safaricom Foundation and we started the first audio production in Kenya. Partnering with them, we are the first to produce audiobooks using human language. We have a studio, and partnering with them has enabled us to produce so many CDs.
Hizo audiobooks zinanisaidia sana katika maishani mwangu. Sana sana nikisoma, tunakuta maswali zingine kwa kitabu, alafu tunazikuta kwa mtihani na unakumbuka unapasi.
Maps drawn freely on paper or on the chalkboard.
I think this is a really changed the way, traditional way of actually giving education to the blind student.
If you look today, I mean, I just heard a figure here of 600-700 projects that we've done in Kenya since we started. That's enormous. I think we must be the biggest giver in Kenya today, and we've done it in a way that makes more sense, impacts more people for the longest possible time. And I don't think there's any other corporation that has done it better than we have done, and maybe we've also set the example for how corporate should give their money away.
Mimi kwa maisha yangu kusema kweli ilikuwa ni maisha ya umaskini. Sisi wanawake sote hatu kusoma. Sikuenda shule kabisa, hata sijui kuandika.
Kenya Foundation started precisely to enable women, to empower them through education, in order to give them skills that could enable them to work either in an institution or to start their own little businesses.
Hasa mimi kufikiria kwangu, nikaona heri nijiunge na agriculture kwa vile sikusoma na katika mafundisho yake ni ya kuona hivi na ni vitendo.
Sponsors told us that we have to look for ways of sustaining ourselves after they pull out. And one of the logical selections we made was to make use of the farm that we have. So then Safaricom Foundation came handy because they helped us to clear the bush, and they also helped us to purchase the first greenhouse.
Immediately after Safaricom Foundation cleared for us the land, we were able to have women on board whom we were able to train so that they can also be able to do the same in their farms.
Kwa hivyo nashukuru Mungu kwa maendeleo ya hapa Tewa na walimu wote, wafadhili wote, basi kwangu mimi kama wamefanya muujiza wa ajabu sana.
My hope is that we will continue to give. In fact, my hope is that we will continue to give more. My hope is that we will provide some leadership to corporate Kenya and to corporate Africa. My hope is we will continue to learn from other people. You know, there are lots of other corporates who are doing some fantastic work. We're hoping to bring some of that learning on board. But ultimately, I hope that the Safaricom Foundation will be the thing which sets the pace for the corporate Africa.
In just over 10 years, the Safaricom Foundation has provided assistance to nearly 1,000 different programs all across the country. It is working with partners to transform the way in which support and assistance is provided in helping the country to achieve its Millennium Development Goals.